All right, so I understand you're a little bummed out that Carmelo Anthony intends on rejecting the Nuggets contract extension offer, plans on forcing a trade, and put his house up for sale. That bothers me too. But let me help you through this. Is it really the end of the world? Is it time to panic and run down the street naked with your hair on fire? Yes, absolutely. Get hysterical. Now. The Nuggets were garbage the day before Carmelo arrived. They will be garbage the day after he departs. In between were 7 consecutive, exciting, interesting, fun, thrilling,
Carmelo for the win! Yes!
maddening playoff seasons.
Anthony, he'll take the 3 there. Yes!
Obviously, everybody know I'm loyal, to the Denver community, to the Denver Nuggets. I've shown that over my 7-year stint here, so I don't think nobody can question that. But at this point in time, I got to do what's best for me and my family.
Averaging nearly 25 points per game during his career, Anthony established himself as the greatest player in franchise history. Yes, better than Alex English, better than Dan Issel, better than David Thompson. Especially when he started playing defense and stopped getting into trouble a couple of years ago. Of course, the Nuggets would receive a good young player or two, maybe a draft pick, in exchange for Melo in a trade, but that would only signal the beginning of another rebuilding project. All-star guard Chauncey Billups will retire shortly thereafter, so will head coach George Karl. Nothing's official yet, but it's becoming obvious.
Melo in the 3. Yes!
I'm a Denver Nugget, man. I'm here. I'm with the Nuggets. I don't become a free agent until next year.
Great pass to Melo and throw it on.
If they're smart, the Nugs will make a deal quickly rather than let Anthony's lame duck status hang over the team all season and risk getting nothing in return. Don't misunderstand, Melo doesn't hate Denver. In fact, I think he likes it here. But he wants and probably needs a bigger stage and city to accommodate his sizable ego. We were lucky he played here this long.
And Carmelo hits it!
Panic? Mm-hmm. Boy, that was depressing.
Yeah.
Maybe this will make us feel better. This is my Mellow in a Box toy that I
we haven't
received for
seen
my
that in a
birthday a couple
while.
years ago.
Yeah.
You spin this
The
little
logo
handle here on
might
the
be
side.
changing.
Plays the national anthem for some
We
reason.
only have a few seconds.
Oh,
here
come on,
to-
Mello.
Oh,
There he is. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Nope, didn't make us feel better. Mr. Perfect, Tim Tebow, practices with the Broncos for the very first time tomorrow morning. When the Broncos drafted Tebow exactly 1 week ago tonight, I thought it was a good pick. But now that I've had some time to think about it, I'm convinced it was brilliant. I know. Everybody says Timmy Terrific's a big risk because he used an unconventional throwing motion at the University of Florida. Well, considering the results, 2 national championships and a Heisman Trophy, I hope he's just as unconventional in the NFL. If so, the Broncos might have a chance to win a few more Super Bowls. Everybody says Tebow will fail because he spent the past 4 years in shotgun formation and never took a snap under center. Please, how long do you figure that'll take to learn? 5 minutes? Everybody says character and intangibles are overrated when evaluating NFL quarterbacks. Really? 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 Everybody says all that emotional leadership stuff is cute in college, but doesn't work in the professional ranks. Really? 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 Everybody says Josh McDaniels has tied his future and fate to Tebow. Of course he has. Who wouldn't? Tebow was perhaps the greatest college football player of all time and is, semi-arguably, the world's only flawless human being. Mature, responsible, and will never do anything stupid to embarrass the franchise. Plus, McDaniels is smart and doesn't care what you, me, or anybody else thinks. Did he ask your opinion? Not mine. Tim Tebow was the ideal choice, the steal of the draft, the perfect player to lead the Broncos into the future. Unless he shows up late to practice tomorrow, in which case you can just disregard everything.
Oh, stop.
CU Athletic Director Mike Bone is searching for the school's 24th head football coach, and I'm hoping it's not going to be the same gentleman who was the 20th. It won't work. Choosing Bill McCartney as the next head coach at CU would be a terrible mistake that, unfortunately, the university can't afford not to make. Bringing McCartney back would save Bone's job, generate immediate excitement in Boulder, energize the school's athletic boosters, and trick everyone into thinking the Golden Buffaloes were relevant again. They won't be. Although McCartney is a CU football legend and primarily responsible for leading the Buffs to the 1990 National Championship, he hasn't coached in 17 years. The young men he'd be recruiting are 17 years old. They've never even heard of him. Ushering a struggling team into a new era in a high-profile conference is an enormous project, which will require the long-term commitment of a man with patience and vision for the future. How do I say this nicely? He's 70. Nobody is questioning McCartney's passion for football, loyalty and love towards the University of Colorado, or respect he commands. But if building a successful program was as simple as rehiring the same person who created a winner decades earlier, Bobby Knight would be coaching at Indiana right now. Tom Lasorda would be managing the Dodgers. Joe Paterno would still be at Penn State. Okay, that's a bad example. But this notion that the new coaching staff must have a deep connection to Colorado's glorious past is ridiculous. Eric Bieniemy doesn't need to be the next offensive coordinator. Alfred Williams doesn't need to be the next defensive coordinator. Ray Caruth doesn't need to be the next receivers coach when he's released from prison in 2018. Coach Mack has expressed an interest in the position, which, because of his terrific reputation, only complicates matters. But CU must resist the temptation to do what's popular and easy. Recalling Bill McCartney would be simple. A simple mistake. The New York Knicks took the early lead in the LeBron James sweepstakes today. They met with James for 2 hours, while the Nets only got 90 minutes. The Nuggets better hurry up and make their move. Why not? Really, why not? How come the list of teams which LeBron James is supposedly considering, Cavaliers, Knicks, Nets, Mavericks, Bulls, Clippers, and Heat, doesn't include the Nuggets? What do those franchises have that ours doesn't? A legitimate chance to contend for the NBA championship? Check. Another superstar to share the workload with? Check. One of the winningest head coaches of all time? Check. A billionaire owner who desperately wants to win a title? Check. The main reason nobody expects the Nuggets to make a play for James is salary cap space. While all those other teams can easily afford to pay LeBron more than $20 million a year, the Nuggies cannot, as their roster currently sits. But what if they created some space? What if they traded a few of their overpaid headaches away? Like Kenyon Martin, $16 million salary. And better yet, J.R. Smith, $6 million. Of course, you'd need to find a couple of suckers to deal with, but hey, that's why the NBA created the Clippers, right? What if the Nugs got really creative and worked out a sign and trade with the Cavs, even if they had to give up Chauncey Billups, Nene, and/or Chris Anderson in exchange? I know you're wincing, but come on. It's LeBron James, the most exciting player on the planet, two-time most valuable player, just 25 years old and still approaching the prime of his career. Heck, let's pool our resources to sweeten the pot and throw in both Ubaldo Jimenez and Tim Tebow also. Really? Why not? Can't believe I'm saying this, but if Kenyon Martin is unable to return this season, the Nuggets have no chance to win the NBA championship.
Well, Kenyon Martin struggling to shake it off.
After consulting with physicians, Martin has decided to try platelet-rich plasma therapy to stimulate healing for the patella tendonitis in his left knee. For the treatment, doctors will take a small vial of Martin's blood spin it in a centrifuge, and then inject the concentrated platelets into his knee. If it works, he'll be back on the court late in the regular season or early in the playoffs. If not, he's finished, and so are the Nugs. I know, I'm the same guy who insisted the Nuggets had no chance to ever win the title as long as Martin was on the roster. Turns out that was wrong. Kmart has gone from troublemaking distraction with a bad attitude to dependable, reliable leader. He's the only player in NBA history to return from complicated microfracture surgery on both legs. In other words, Kenyon could be at home, laying on the couch in his underwear, eating Funyuns, collecting on his $92 million contract, but instead, he's battled through all of the pain and regained his status as one of the most feared, intimidating, and productive power forwards in the league. That's impressive. Platelet-rich plasma therapy has helped golfer Tiger Woods and football star Troy Polamalu return to action. Now, the Nuggets hope it can do the same for Martin. The season depends on it. All right, so why do you think Kyle Orton and not Tim Tebow will be the Broncos' starting quarterback for Sunday's game with the Oakland Raiders? I'm convinced he's not ready. It's that simple. The reason the Broncos are refusing to give Tim Tebow a chance to prove himself in the final few meaningless games of the regular season is because he's already proven to them that he's not ready for the job. Not ready for the responsibility, not ready for the speed, not ready for the pressure. How else can you explain why Josh McDaniels, Tebow's greatest supporter, never gave him an opportunity and was willing to get fired before even considering it? Interim head coach Eric Studesville, who could win instant popularity simply by starting Tebow, won't go there. And owner Pat Bowlen, who certainly can order such a move, seems far more interested in John Elway's future with the team than Timmy's. Not ready. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. The plan all along was for Tebow to ride the bench, watch, and learn this season. Doesn't make sense to change that strategy now just because the Broncos are out of playoff contention, especially if he's not ready. Truth is, it's a miracle the rookie has played as much as he has. 19 snaps, 12 rushes for 28 yards, and
Tebow's third rushing touchdown of the season.
one pass.
And Tim Tebow's first NFL pass goes for a touchdown.
This lack of playing time has nothing to do with work ethic, determination, talent, or effort. Mr. Perfect has all of that. But if everyone agrees that he gives the Broncos the best chance to win, then where does that mean he is in his development? Sure, it would be interesting and exciting for the fans to see Tebow play the last final few games of this garbage season. There's no other reason to watch. But not if it's going to put him at risk. Not if it's going to get him hurt. Not if it's going to destroy his confidence. Tim Tebow's been told by Broncos management to be patient. We need to be also. He's not ready. Which leaves only one logical move. Start Brady Quinn. Maybe the Broncos are saving Tebow for their next home game, which is December 26th against the Houston Texans, but I doubt it.